What's going on, everybody? This is the Burchalations podcast hosted by the Birch Bros. And we are back with I don't even know what episode the
Might
number
be
is.
episode 8.
Episode 8,
maybe
episode 8 or 9. I don't know, but yes, sir. But anyways, guys, so much has happened between the last episode and now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot has happened in the culture lately, as of late.
Yeah, man. But what we're going to get into just for this podcast today, we're going to get into 3 topics, 3 easy topics. We're going to be talking about
men's mental health, the reality of sexism, and in the spirit that Father's Day has passed, we'll be talking about the impact of fathers that they have in our lives
and fatherhood in general. You know what I mean? I mean we had dad, of course, and let's just get into it right now, man. Let's talk about fatherhood.
Yeah,
I mean, last night was so funny, bro. We were at Whiskey Dick's line dancing, and we saw a whole lot of fighting, man. And it was just men being emotional than a motherfucker. You posted something on your Snap.
I said this is why we need fathers, because it's like whenever a man has a father in his life, he's not as emotional as one who didn't have a dad in his life. Because I know most guys that I know who didn't have a dad, they tend to react off their emotions most of the time instead of reacting off logic.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I was one of them. I mean, I used to be one of them, especially in my younger days. I said that like I was 30 years old. I ain't gonna lie. But,
I used to have anger problems whenever I was younger.
Let's just say back in high school, man. I mean, I operated a lot on emotions, and things like that. And especially as an adult, I still do that. Admitting it now just a little bit, but especially when it comes to work, you may not want to go to work the next day, and you may rely on your emotions and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to work today." Yeah. And you said some of the realest shit I've ever heard, man. You said you can't let your emotions or your feelings get in the way of your paper.
Nah, because when you let your emotions and feelings get in the way of your money, there's some bigger problems are going to come in. And your emotions, they can't solve those.
Yeah. And I think that's what being a man really is just putting your feelings aside to get a job done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think being a man is getting the job done regardless of how you feel. Obviously, you're still going to feel something, but you still got to go out there and get it done.
One thing you won't feel is broke.
Damn, Skippy. I can't, man. I would rather feel so many other things than broke.
Man, you say it yourself, man. You said a big old quote, man.
I'd rather be tired than broke.
That's your thing, man. That's your thing.
Listen, man. Look. I've learned that whenever I think with logic and rationally, I realize that stuff goes a whole lot better for me. Because whenever I think off emotions, I probably have more stuff happen to me, like negatively, or acting off those emotions than reacting with logic.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I would, I'll even say that when you are putting your emotions in the situation, the best thing you could do is channel it into something productive.
Exactly.
Like working out, doing a certain task,
Exactly.
And but crying about it and taking it out on other people, it's just never the answer.
It's never healthy.
And that's what we saw a lot last night.
Yeah, that's
people
what. Yeah,
fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think whenever a man reacts off his emotions, I think that's pretty weak. I say that weak men, they're the most dangerous men on this planet. All right, because if you really think about what kind of men react off their emotions. Okay, we got school shooters, men who grape, men who beat women.
Yep.
Men who kill. Men who's doing all the bullshit in the streets. Those men, they react off their emotions.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, there's being a dangerous man is good, but there's also being a dangerous man is also bad. There's 2 different types of dangerous.
Yeah,
and you want to be the one that is able to knows how to use a gun, but chooses to keep it in his holster.
Exactly.
You don't want to be out here just shooting because someone stepped on your shoes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of funny though, because I hear people saying that men should be more emotional when I think they really want men to be more stoic.
Absolutely.
Teaching men, look. Whenever we teach men to not be stoic, we're basically creating more and more violent men day by day. Yeah. Whenever we don't teach stoicism, that's why I think the fathers are so important, because they can teach that.
And I see it all over my phone, the internet, stuff like that. Women are always talking about how they want a man to be in touch with his feminine side, his emotional side. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a fucking mistake.
Yeah,
it's a fucking mistake.
Yeah,
because as soon, one of our videos went viral because of this.
Yeah,
you asked the question.
They turn around and use it against you most of the time.
And shout out to that guy too, man. I hope you're doing good too, man.
I hope him and his lady is doing great.
Absolutely, man. Feel free to come on the podcast sometime, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's always invited over here.
Absolutely,
man. But Bernardo, I want to talk to you about fatherhood for a second.
Yeah.
Anyone who says that fathers are not needed in the home, they don't know what structure is, because that's what having a 2-parent household brings. It brings structure. Okay, think about it. A father is a boy's first hero or his first villain. He's his daughter's first love or her first breakup. Think about it. Look at me. The father is the first guy that the boy wants to be like, or the first guy who he doesn't want to be like. Yeah, and the girl, and the real. Girl, and look, and the father is the type of guy that the girl will go after, because that's the man who will love his little girl unconditionally. That's the first man who will show that's the first man who can show his girl unconditional love most of the time. Or that's the guy who she'll try to avoid.
Yeah. And yet fathers are so frowned upon in today's society, at least, especially in the black community.
Yeah.
I get there's some bad apples out there, of course, but I believe that every man wants to be a father to his kids. And, there's a saying that there's something I always say, is that a child always deserves his parents, but every parent doesn't deserve the child.
Exactly. That's deep right there. That's some deep stuff right there. Yeah. But I want to address what you just said about the black dad. I think that narrative is false.
Really?
Yes, I think the opposite.
The reason I say that is, our whole lives, man. We've been through a little bit, man. Sometimes our dad would be put in a bad light while even hearing his side of the story.
Yeah, but think about
being real.
Yeah, I know, but think about it though. But let's speak from a majority standpoint. Out of 20 million black men, roughly 54% of black men don't have any kids. Roughly 35% are married. That's a total of 89% of black men who don't have kids or have their kids within marriage, which leaves roughly 11%, or 2.2 million, making the majority of 70% of babies out of wedlock.
That's crazy. And I think we're the only race with the most, babies that are out of wedlock outside of
100%. We are, 100%. We probably have more babies than anyone out of wedlock.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which I don't really have the problem with, but I do have a problem when the parents, they don't recognize what their duty is towards the kids.
Again, putting their feelings in their situation.
Yeah, and that's another thing though. I don't think happiness is about happiness. No, I don't think marriage is about happiness. I think it's more so about duty.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's putting your feelings aside for to perform a certain job, especially for that kid, man.
Regardless of how you feel, because think about it, man. When you have kids, man. Look, man. I know if I ever have a child in the future, obviously I'm gonna feel happy. But I know once he comes into the world, I have a duty to that child. I have a duty to the mother of that child. Mm-hmm. I have a duty to God, and I have a duty to my bloodline.
Absolutely, man.
And I know, and I know once that child comes into the world, my feelings don't matter anymore. I have to put the kid first before myself.
Yeah,
that's one of the main qualities of a good parent, is they know how to put the kids' feelings over themselves.
Absolutely. And having a kid is one of the greatest things you could do, because you cannot. I mean, some people wake up to nothing.
Exactly.
But when they have a family and a kid, they actually wake up and they have something to fight for.
Exactly.
And they take so much pride in that. I mean, what was I going to say? They're a kid having a baby gives you an opportunity to be better than what you used to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's so much deeper than just having sex and then poof a baby, right?
Yeah.
It's just if you look at it from that perspective, raising a kid is nowhere near as hard as you think it will be.
Yeah.
I said that like I have a kid. I don't have a kid.
Yeah, but I feel like everything is easy. But I feel like raising a kid will be easier whenever the parents have structure, as in they're both together, they're both cooperating for that kid. Like they know that they have a duty towards that kid.
Yeah.
Instead of putting their happiness first.
Speaking of which,
that's why. Look, I'm not against co-parenting. I think it works whenever it's about the children.
A lot of things that mess up these relationships is putting their own, I guess, their own feelings. Like you said, like they're worrying about themselves.
Yeah, like for example,
they're not worried about the kid. They're always putting it on themselves, worrying about themselves. Like, oh, what's in it for me? It's nothing. It's about the kid. Like,
exactly, and it's like, there could be different reasons why the dad left. You and the mom don't get along. I understand. You don't want to be there. I understand, but
yeah, cool.
But at the end of the day, though, that's his seed, right? And he doesn't just have a responsibility to that seed, but he also has a responsibility to everyone else out here in this outside world. Because I'm speaking from a black perspective in this sense. Because we know for a fact that most of our people in jail don't have fathers. Roughly 8% grew up in single parent in a single mother household.
100%.
We know for a fact that. Did you know that that a boy who was raised by just his dad has the same probability of going to jail as a kid who lives in a 2-parent household?
For real?
Yes.
Dang. So it's worse for someone to be born into a single mother home rather than a single father.
Yeah, because a single mother home, they're more likely to end up in poverty, stuff like that. They're more likely to end up in jail. They're basically
everything bad.
Exactly. They're basically at every statistical disadvantage.
Yeah. And this is why I say that fathers, especially in your teen years, going to your adult years, are the most important. In the beginning,
the make or break years.
When shit gets real.
Exactly.
When you're like a newborn, a baby and stuff like that, that's when the mother is the most important, in my opinion.
Yeah, obviously both parents are important, but
once the kid gains
that mother's nurturing.
Yeah, once the kid gains that common sense and he starts to figure out what's right and wrong, that father's going to need to put discipline.
Exactly. He's going to have to show discipline, and he's going to have to exert his authority.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard for a mother to play both roles, because in order to play both roles, you got to become more masculine. And that's why we see so many black women in more masculine.
Yeah, it's not even just black women. It's women in general nowadays.
Well, yeah, I just see it more with black women.
Yeah, I know. It's more obvious nowadays with black women.
But I do understand what you're saying, though, because a lot of them come from single parent homes, specifically single mothers.
Yeah, specifically single mothers, and they whatchamacallit, they don't look. It's harder for a woman in a single mother household. They have a hard time trusting men, because it's like the number one man in your life, who was your dad, you couldn't trust him. So
he wasn't even there for you. So it's like, how are you gonna trust a regular man, like a regular guy?
Exactly, and they have a harder time. And they have a hard time accepting male authority.
Yeah, that's true, because you were taken. You have to listen to your mom.
Exactly, and you're taught in life that you don't need a man, stuff like that.
But in reality, you do.
Yeah.
I know one person in my life right now that is struggling because she thought that she bought into that feminist propaganda and all that stuff. Although I do believe that feminism in the beginning, like the first wave, was very much needed.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, women couldn't vote. They couldn't work. They couldn't do none of these things back in the day because back in the day, all you had to rely on was a man, and the man held all the power because women couldn't work and do all that stuff. It's like, how you gonna leave? Like, you can't work.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it gave these men out here to do whatever they wanted to do. So now when they got this freedom,
they got the leverage. They basically had all the leverage.
Men had all the leverage. So now in today's world,
the script has been flipped.
Whereas women had to look for men for resources and protection, now they could just buy it.
They got the resources.
Women can now just go out there and buy it themselves.
Exactly.
They can go provide for themselves and do all these things. So that's when a woman says, I don't need a man, they mean they don't need you for resources and protection. But, and this is gonna really hurt a lot of people. I'm so sorry. Not really. So listen. What camera are we looking at? This one? Women don't need men for resources and protection. But there is one thing that you have that a woman will never be able to give to herself. All right? As a man, you can pay someone to cook for you, clean for you, even sleep with you. All right? But as a man, you have something valuable to offer to a girl that she can't go out here and get herself.
Sperm? Sperm?
Yeah.
Okay, so
and not just that, but even resources and protection on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can go buy security cameras and all that stuff, but if someone wants to break into your door, who's going to be there as a police officer? You're not going to want a girl to be right there.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to want a male, brave police officer who actually a stronger male police officer.
Absolutely, man.
Now, are there some strong female police officers? For sure. But how many really are there compared to men? You
go to the police department right here, and you go look at the staff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. How many of them are actually strong like that?
Yeah, hell, man, we know a couple.
I know a couple of police officers that are men that are man.
Heck, man, I've been coached by some of them.
Literally, man. So, I mean. I'm sure a few badass female police officers that are tatted as fuck that was pretty cool, man, pretty cool as shit. But until then, man,
but how many really are there compared to man? We would be making the argument for the exception to the rule.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. They're minorities.
Exactly, you can't make an argument for the exception.
So at the end of it all, man, I think women need to be a lot more honest with themselves and stop living in La La Land. But then again, I live in America in 2023, so of course that may not happen. So, I'm just So I think if people are a lot more real with themselves, especially where they are in life, who they are, they can make the proper steps to improving their lives. Yeah. Because even as a man, you can't live in a lie. You can't be buying all the J's, and you can't pay your phone bill.
Exactly.
Month, you know what I'm saying?
You're not exactly going to get far in life.
You're not going to get far, and then you're going to get depressed later on when you realize that 20 years from now, when you're 40 years old and you're still in the same situation, your self-esteem starts fucking with your head. Mm-hmm. So,
I got a question for you, man.
What?
So this is talking about dads. I'll answer this question too after you answer.
All right.
What's okay, well, since we didn't really grow up with our dad much in our teenage years, but I would just like to know during that time, what was like the one thing that you wanted to know from dad?
If I saw him again, or like, well, what was the question?
What would you like wanted to know, like during like your teenage years from him specifically?
Why do women want bad boys? I guess.
Okay, yeah, I was going around that same.
That's just at the top of my head because as a teenager, all I was doing was playing video games and playing sports. But the one thing I struggled with most was women and how they thought and how they think. And
Female nature.
Why do they go for the man that they go for? Why does this man do this, and that? And they get the girl that I want, but I'm over here doing this, and this.
I think that's another important thing why fathers should be in that little boy's life, because that little boy at some point in time has to learn about female nature. And who better to know than the father of his mother,
or the grandfather, man?
Exactly, yeah, or the grandfather too.
I need some old school people, man.
But think about it though. Women think a whole lot different than they did back then.
Yeah, it's true. Women been given a lot of things.
2023 is way different than the 60s.
Yeah, women be given a lot of things now compared to the 50s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot different playing field.
Whole different ball game. So,
because at this point, one thing I've learned just from existing is that it's like women they've leveled up so much. Is that at this point, like do they really? Yeah, they've leveled up so much that we have to put our foot to the gas pedal a whole lot harder than we have before. Because at this point, they really don't need men.
I'm so glad you said that, because in this world today, females have been given so many things to succeed out here, and they took full advantage of it, as you can see. Whether it be
as they should,
whether it be college, we're going from college all the way to OnlyFans. Whatever opportunity that they have been given, they've made that choice to use it, and they use it to their full ability. So as a man, when you have these females out here that are making all this money and things like that, you got to be a whole different kind of man now. You have to. Here's the only thing that I think that men are able to get a abundance of women, or the women that they want. You now have to provide a lifestyle that they cannot have, that they cannot give themselves.
Exactly.
Because they can give themselves money. Mm-hmm. They can get themselves a level of protection and resources. But are you that guy that has that lifestyle that she wants?
Exactly.
Are you a fun guy? Do you do this and this and that? You know, because the last thing you want to be is boring.
Exactly.
To a female.
Exactly. I think that women, they get a whole lot more bored than men most of the time. Like, we don't mind if we're bored, honestly. Like, we're stable.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we know for a fact that if we're bored, then guess what? Then that probably means that we're stable. But I was trying to say this though. I think that here's the thing that I always say. I think that I think we all as men, we're trying to strive to become that 10 to 20% of men, because according to statistics, women find 80 to 90% of men unattractive.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't even need to be a rocket scientist to know that. You go on a dating app right now.
8% of men 8% of Tinder users are men. Women only swipe right 5% of the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, to be honest with y'all, if you're not a man that has his shit together and that's living a life that he wants to live, I won't even worry about a chick. I'm not expecting you to go monk mode on me or not date at all, because it's good to talk to women. Don't be a weirdo.
Yeah, but
don't put all your efforts into the women. Literally, the Bible says that don't waste your energy on women, for they have ruined kings.
Yeah, but think about it though. There's some women out here who know for a fact that a man doesn't have his life together, but he'll still fuck them anyways, because I don't know, but what maybe it's because they find that guy arousing. But
well, that's true.
But that's really doing this guy a disservice though, because that's going to make him think that he don't gotta do much anymore to get women.
Oh yeah, trust me. If I was broke and all that stuff, and I was still getting sex from females and stuff like that, shoot, I'll be like, I ain't got to worry about nothing.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. But I wouldn't feel the need to improve.
But at the same time, what kind of caliber of women are you messing with?
Probably.
Are these the women that you really want, or
are these the women that you will take seriously long term? Probably not.
Or are these the women that you can just get? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, I think I've learned that in the long run. So, there are definitely a caliber of women that I desire and that I want, and I'm working on my standards and make sure that I stick to those. And just because something is there, don't mean I need to go for it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly.
Because then I'll just be looking like I'm desperate.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Not only will you like you're desperate, you'll look like that you have no discipline.
Absolutely.
Or self-respect, because you can't just mess with anything that walks and blinks. I mean, because what would that really say about you? I mean, it would mean that you'll take whatever you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to the club tonight, man, and there's gonna be women that are up there, top tier, everything. I mean, you took a picture with one of these girls, and these were. You remember when she wore your chain?
Yeah, she was pretty.
That was the kind of girl that you would go for. Really?
Yeah. If I got to know her, and
as long as her morals were
exactly,
intact.
Yeah, exactly. If her morals were correct, yeah, I would honestly get to know her.
Of course, the visual setting can really make a man go from emotion to logic real quick, or logic to emotion.
I got another question for you. This is probably real worthy too.
What's up?
I'll answer it too after you. For the right girl, would you wait? If she told you that she wanted to wait until marriage, would you?
Absolutely, man. I do. Especially in the these 22 long years that I've lived, I've done things and stuff like that to be like, okay, like, I guess what do I get out of a one night stand? What do I get out of temporary pleasure? What I'm looking for now is something that is more fulfilling, in a sense. But ultimately, if a girl wanted to wait till marriage, I'm all for that. Question is, does your lifestyle back that up?
Yeah. I was gonna say though, man, I wouldn't mind waiting for a woman. I wouldn't mind waiting. I wouldn't mind if a woman told me that she waited for marriage, as long as she backed that up herself before meeting me.
You can't tell me that you're going to wait for marriage and then you were a porn star before you
exactly, because that would feel kind of disrespectful.
That would be disrespectful to me, because then it's like, oh, like all these guys getting this for free, but I'm over here busting my ass to give you things, a lifestyle, but I'm over here, you put a 90-day rule on me.
You're paying full price plus interest, basically.
Interest is crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly, and that would make you, and that would kind of offend you as a man. Not the fact. It's not the fact that it's not the fact that she's making you wait for marriage. Yeah. That's not the problem. But the problem would be if she had a past where basically where she was empowering herself. Towards
that word, empowering.
Yeah,
it's such a strong word nowadays.
Yeah, it has a lot of different meanings.
Finding herself.
Yeah, it has a lot of different meanings nowadays. But yeah, I wanted to tackle another thing, which is the next topic, which is the reality of sexism. Okay, yeah, I wanted to talk about that because
I guess well before you get into it, what is, I guess, I mean, we see it every day, but like, what does how you feel about it?
Honestly, I have no problem with it because it creates sexism. It created a different standard for men and women. Some things there's a lot of things that benefit women. There's some things that benefit men. But I think that most of the time we as men, we don't really bat an eye towards it because that's just really life.
I think we embrace it.
Yeah, I think we embrace it. Like you like you know what? Screw it. I mean, what? I'll pay to get inside the club. I really don't care. I mean, just trying to have fun.
Faint thing to get my money up.
Exactly. But I think for the ladies though, I don't think they have a problem with it until it doesn't benefit them.
Ooh, yeah.
Give me an
example.
Okay, so for example, stuff that benefits them. You know, they can get on a boat just because they're pretty. They can get into a club for free because they're a lady. They get invited to parties just off the fact that they're an attractive woman. But something that doesn't benefit them, if they have entanglements with a lot of partners, they'll be seen as a slut or a hoe, as a promiscuous woman. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the double standard, we would be seen as studs.
The man,
exactly. We would be seen as that guy because think about it's in my opinion, I believe that it's different. I don't really encourage it on both sides, but I see why the double standard exists. Because think about it though, man, we as men, we willingly give it away, and it's not really a skill for a lady to have a lot of sex. Because think about how many YouTube videos are there teaching women how to get laid.
Teaching women how to get laid?
Exactly.
Not a lot, man.
Exactly.
None at all, really.
What does a man need to have for him to receive a lot of sexual encounters from women or attention from women? He needs to have a certain skill. He needs to have certain status. He needs to have built himself up and bring something to the table.
The reason why a lot of girls want that guys in the NBA or that kind of
Exactly, man. Why do you think Chris Brown receives a lot of attention from women?
Status.
Yeah, exactly. Status. He brings something to the table.
It's not money. It's not money. It's not all that stuff. It's simply just who he is and what and how much weight his name carries and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Women love that, man.
Exactly. Apparently they have a swag mirror. Apparently, man, they can measure swag. Okay, they know. Okay,
when was this?
I don't know, man, but it's like in my opinion, look, I don't think women are stupid. Okay, I actually think they're really quite smart, in my opinion, because look, they know for a fact who they should take seriously on a long term. Why do you think there's more futures out here receiving getting all the sex while the Russell Wilsons, they're getting all the marriages whenever the lady decides to settle down after she's done having her fun?
My God. Let me tell you something, man. I think I talked to you about this, but I need to let y'all know something, guys. Have you seen that new film that Zendaya is in?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, let me tell you something. If you look on Twitter right now, there's a scene that that she is in. It's with these two guys, and basically, it's an adult scene. Okay, they're having a threesome, right?
Yeah.
And these two guys kiss on her neck at the same time in slow motion. Like the shot is right there. So I'm thinking that as Tom Holland, like he's punching the wall right now.
Yeah.
And then you only have that. You have Gabrielle Union in this new Netflix, I think a movie or series, kissing this young black man, right? I'm like, but like, this is like, I feel like this is worse than anything I've ever seen, because it's like, yo, this is on Netflix. People can go watch this over and over and over again, and you have to live with that as a man.
Exactly.
So,
you're married to Dwayne Wade.
I think Dwayne Wade
a three-time NBA champion, probably a top 3 shooting guard all time.
Yeah.
Finna be in the Hall of Fame in August.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's crazy, man. But
he gonna need that.
Crazy though, because he's getting slandered for everything but basketball.
Mm-hmm. And
it's rough.
It is crazy because like, I think this is what's gonna happen. I don't think Gabrielle Union is gonna leave Dwayne Wade at all.
Yeah.
Because I mean, just all that stuff that they built. But if he didn't have that stuff, or if he didn't have half of it, she will leave simply because of the man that he has become after basketball.
In the heartbeat. Before Dwayne Wade, she had another man, right? And she said, and I used to cheat on him left and right because I was the one paying all the bills.
That's crazy, man.
Now, what does that tell you?
Like,
whenever a lady has the leverage most of the time, and she doesn't respect her man, usually it leads to the end.
It leads to the end of the relationship.
Exactly. She was basically the leader of that relationship. Mm-hmm. She led it. Okay, she led to the end.
And this is why I always say, females without instruction leads to destruction.
Exactly. And back to what we was talking about, that double standard between whenever a man has a lot of sex,
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Why would okay, I got a question for you. Why would something that takes effort and skill be as valued the same as something that doesn't take effort or skill at all?
Well, it takes time, and it's hard, and it's not easy.
Exactly. That's how we feel about the double standard of body counts.
I mean, you only got to take it as far as having sex with these girls. I mean, if you go to the club or you go to a place and you're have women around you, you're dancing with them and all that stuff, while all the men are on the wall just standing there looking stupid.
Yep.
These guys are gonna look at you like, oh man, look at this guy.
Exactly,
like,
man. Like, what's he got, man?
Happened to me. It's happened to you all the time.
Exactly,
and
bro.
We've been on both sides of the table.
Yeah, bro. But I remember me being younger and didn't know the game as much. I used to ask some of my older friends, "Hey, yo, man, what you do to like attract this woman?" And usually they would tell me. Usually they won't. But
what have they told you? Just walk up to the motherfucker, or like what?
Man, I don't know, man. Usually with that advice is usually if you bring something to the table,
if you're the absolute shit.
Yeah. Usually when you bring something to the table, you don't have to play by the same rules as most other men.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you think, Chris Brown brings he has to play by the same rules
as a regular 9-to-5 job guy,
as a regular part of that 8%.
Oh, of course not, man. I mean, exactly. he'll cheat on a girl, and the girl will think she did something wrong.
Exactly.
And that's the kind of things that's the kind of level that a guy needs to get. Not saying you need to cheat on your girl. Definitely not saying that. But you need to. Here's the thing, though. As a man, your girl needs to think that it don't get no better than you, my nigga.
That's the way. That's the only way it's gonna work.
As a man, your girl needs to think that when she's with you, it don't get no better than you. Because if she leaves for whatever reason, whether it's good, bad, mutual, as they say, which is never mutual.
It's never mutual. She will think that she can get someone better than you.
No matter what, she's going to think that the grass is greener on the other side somewhere. And that should infuriate you.
Exactly. It infuriates the hell out of me because I rarely break up. All right. And look, when I know back all the times that I've got dumped, I know that the girl who I was with, she was thinking that she could get someone better than me. It's not my job to get her back. It's my job to show her that, hey, you fucked up. Okay, you think that you can do better than me? All right, I'm gonna show you that it doesn't get any better.
And that's the best revenge that a man can get, because here's how a man gets revenge. You don't get back at her or do none of that thing, like all that crazy stuff. What you do is you work on yourself. Mm-hmm. You get that money. You hit the gym. You know, you get a big network of guys. You raise your status up, and then from 5 to 10 years from now, when she sees you again, you have two choices.
What are the two choices?
Reject her in her face, or break her heart again. You know what I'm saying? But don't ever get back with a girl that left you because back then she thought that it could get better than you, man.
Yep. And there was a quote that we heard in the car on Thursday from the TikToker Life in Scars. He said, man, when she come back, it ain't because that bitch give a fuck about you. It's because no one gave a fuck about that bitch.
Game is game, dog.
Game is game.
That's some of the realest shit I've heard all year, man.
Yeah, and it's true.
But it's so true though, man. Like as much as people don't want to talk about it, like it's true. You know what I'm saying? And people need to know about this, especially young guys.
Yeah, and usually whenever they come back, it's not because it's not because she cares about you. It's because she sees you as a placeholder most of the time. She
sees you as something that's stable and safe.
Most of us men, we're placeholders.
Yeah, for sure.
We're only there until they can get the guy that they really want.
Yeah. And even then, when they get the guy that they want, they may not even think that they may try to get something else.
Exactly.
Because I mean, honestly, for us, for men, success is like a never-ending mountain to climb. And as for a girl, you know, for men, they always think that they can get better.
They can get better and better, but as they get older and older, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. They have a time clock. We don't.
Yeah, we really don't. And if we do, it don't end in our 30s.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, it starts.
And back to what you said about success, though, I think success has a whole lot to do with respect.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I think we as men, we desire respect like how we desire oxygen. Why do you think some of these men they be leaving the mother of their children because some of the men, they don't feel respected inside of their own home. All right, so either A, they'll stay at work longer, they'll go out with the boys more, or they just won't be around their family at all. Because think about when a man doesn't even get the respect in his home, best believe he's gonna find that respect somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he don't care where he finds it at. He just wants to be respected.
Exactly. You know, and I know. And look, I know if I had a choice between a marriage with a wife who loved me or a wife who respected me, I might choose respect, even though she can't love you unless she respects you unless she respects you first.
Yeah. But you should prioritize respect in a relationship over love any day, because love runs out.
Exactly, respect. You can't fake respect. But you can fake love any day of the week.
I've loved a girl in a fake way.
Yeah.
Easy. You can do that easy.
Exactly. And think about it. There's some women out here who completely hate her man's guts, but she hasn't left him. Why? Because there's still some sort of respect for that man.
It's something that man does that she respects.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Women only love men who they admire and respect. Mm-hmm. They only have sex with men who they respect.
Yes. I don't think a girl can get herself to a point where she's having sex with men that she don't even respect. You know
exactly.
What I'm saying?
Respect. Look. Respect drives men. Why do you think CEOs work to get to the top? Why they work so hard? Because of respect.
Why do you think we do what we do now?
Because of respect.
Because of respect. It's because men walk up to us, shake our hand, be like, "Hey, man, I appreciate everything y'all do. Y'all help me get through this." You get DMs from women, dog.
Exactly.
You changed lives already, man. And you started at a young age. You're 20. You just turned 21.
I just turned 21.
So imagine where you'll be in the next 5 to 10 years, man.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's scary as shit.
Hopefully somewhere further. Because, like, man, it's because I want to look out for everyone, okay? I don't want people to go through this delusional hell of thinking that it's necessary and it has to happen. No, it doesn't have to happen.
And also, I don't want people out here to think that there's something wrong with them in a situation to where the other person was completely wrong. Because in a relationship, when women have left me, I felt like I've done something wrong.
You felt like you were the problem.
I felt like I was the problem, but in reality, it never was me.
Yeah,
but
at the same time, you still have to go back to that drawing board.
Yeah,
and try to improve yourself.
And that's why I'm coming from is that you don't want to look at yourself as someone that like made a mistake, but also you want to look at yourself as like, okay, how can I get better from this?
Exactly. You know? What can you do to prevent this situation from happening again?
Yeah, for sure, man. Because I go back on my old Snapchat account and I look back at the texts, the things I used to text girls. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Oh my God, thank you for giving me a chance. You may be the happiest guy in the world." Blah blah blah. It's like, what the fuck? This is fucking pathetic, man.
Yeah, exactly. This is just fucking. What? Yeah, it's just absolutely
what the fuck
dumb as hell. But that's okay though, man. I mean, because look, man. I mean, it's okay when you learn from it. But if you continue to do the same thing all over again, expect a different result, that's insanity.
Oh, yeah. 5 years later, man, if I was still doing the same thing.
That would be insanity.
You would be disappointed in your
I
boy.
would.
You'd be disappointed in your boy, man.
Exactly. But I would not allow you to...
you wouldn't allow that.
I wouldn't allow you to sell yourself so low like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know that. I always got you. But
yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I mean, fuck it. I'll say it right now. Since we're on some, I'm feeling hype. If a girl was to come up to me, man, and talk shit about you, man, let me tell you something.
Man, no. I get mad whenever a girl comes over to me and talks shit about you in like some small ways, because it's like, why would you tell me this? Like, you know for a fact that I'm not gonna go against my brother.
I don't care what my brother did to make you feel this way. I'm on side with my brother, okay? Like, if you were to cheat, right? Not saying you would do it, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say, if you were to cheat, right? I'm gonna look at that girl and was like, oh, he cheated on you? Like, dang, you must did something wrong, man. That shit crazy.
No, and think about it, man. We were just out in public, and some guys tried to press you about some stuff. Let's say that you did something to him, right? Mm-hmm. Look at me, man. We're not even going to get in the stage of responding back to what they did, because we're going to be too busy handling that. We're going to
be fighting. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We're going to be too busy handling that.
We're going to be fighting.
Because I know.
Because I could have been a complete menace. I could have been in the wrong doing none of that.
Yeah, but but as your brother though, it's one of my duties to make sure that you're straight at all times.
Yeah.
That's one thing that our parents, our mom and dad, that's one thing that they both instilled in us in the time that they were together.
You ask questions later.
Exactly. Look, if you can't fight, that's fine. But if you won't fight, that's
some bullshit. You gotta get out of the circle, man.
Exactly, man. I can't have you in my circle if you won't fight.
Dog.
Stupid. Like, can't fight, yeah, that's fine. But won't fight, nah. And it's like we'll figure out what happened later. Like, we'll figure out who's in the wrong later. But at that moment, like we have to treat it like it's life or death.
Because that's what it is.
Exactly.
That's what it is, man. And it's kill or be killed nowadays in the streets, man. So
yeah, but back to your relationship talk though. I remember probably it started in like 7th grade. I remember I started to just like feel bad about myself because like I didn't really have as much success with ladies at that time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I wasn't really feeling it. I was probably like I started to I didn't really feel as well like mentally, and I wanted to get into that men's mental health because it's June, it's Men's Mental Health Month, but no one talks about it as much.
You know why?
Well, Pride Month.
Because I mean,
but I believe that we should be talking about Men's Mental Health Month as much as they're talking about Pride Month.
Pride.
Because don't get me wrong, man. Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with that community. I have some friends who are in that community, but these are people's lives that are being taken by themselves.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because of their mental health, and it's like no one talks about it. And it's like we're more likely to be successful with self-deletion, even though ladies are more likely to attempt it, but we're more successful.
Yeah, as a man, to ensure you don't get nowhere near those situations. More importantly, you want to have a community or just a circle of guys and people that have your best interests at heart,
and they know exactly what you're going through.
They know exactly what you're going through. 2, when you looking into yourself, realize that you're probably not going to win the lottery, and 2, no one's coming to save you.
Yep,
really. So as soon as you realize these things, man, the sooner you can look into taking the correct actions to improving your life.
But what's unfortunate though is that I don't think anyone really cares anymore.
Oh no. You could literally starve to death on the side of the road and people will walk past you.
Exactly.
As a man.
And for some men who are still alive, some of them don't even get the acknowledgement that they're even alive.
Yeah.
Hell, and whenever someone does, and whenever it's too late, it's like we just brush off it like after a week, like it did just happen. I remember my freshman year, there was a kid by the name of Will Kavoric, God bless his soul, but yeah, he decided to take his own life in the first couple of. It was probably my first semester of high school. He decided to take his life, and it's like we just brushed past it like after like a week.
Mm-hmm. But you take everyone else that has taken their own life. Let's take example. There was a girl by the name of Allie Johnson, right? And
God bless her soul.
Like I said, God bless her soul as well. But I'm putting this in. I'm bringing this up because I want y'all to notice the difference between men and women that we have in this. On these issues when it comes to suicide and all that stuff.
They both got the same attention. They were both the same age.
They're both the same age.
Both in my grade.
Your grade. The only
both
thing
struggled mentally.
The only difference was gender.
They both struggled. Yeah, they both struggled mentally. And it's like,
but they both took their own lives.
But it's
one of them
though.
Let's just be honest. One of them was kind of brushed off.
Yeah,
like life just goes on.
But I get it though. Because I knew both of them. Allie, she was a whole lot more sociable than Will was. Will was a little bit more quiet. Allie, she was a great personality. She had a lot of friends in this community. Will, he was more so silent most of the time.
Right.
Obviously, he had some friends. Yeah, but it's like, I get why he was more talked about. I get why I still talked about to this day.
Yeah, for sure.
But
in that case, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. So,
but I mean, let's just take people that are in the same social level,
exactly.
As such, either way, I mean, if one person was to die, you would think of them as expendable,
exactly.
But as the other one, we're talking about it for years and years and years to come.
Yeah, it's still talked about to this day.
You know what I'm saying? But
it's sad though, man.
I think it's just reality that we that us men have accepted is that hey, we're the expendable.
Commodities,
expendable sex, and women are the protected sex.
Yeah,
shout out to Myron Gaines for that. Well, more originally it was by Richard Cooper.
Yeah, but it's sad though, man, because it's like, man, look, I'm channeling like a man's degree. Like whenever I say like, don't react like with your emotions, like think rationally, because whenever someone decides to take their own life, they're thinking with their emotions. I don't think like thinking rationally.
Oh man, absolutely. As soon as someone jumps off a bridge, it's instant regret while you're falling.
Exactly, and it's like.
But that's why people take the gunshot route, because as soon as you do it, you can't go back. But I mean, while you're falling from the bridge, I mean, at least you have time to at least prepare yourself if you feel regretful.
Exactly.
I mean, I hear all the time, man. If people take that falling off of a bridge route or stuff like that, or not swimming back up the water, as soon as you jump off that ledge, instant regret. You'd be like, oh snap, what am I doing? Hold on.
Yeah, and I think most of those men who has deleted themselves, I think it's because they have became invisible with the others around them. No one talks to them.
And that's the sad reality, is that most men are invisible.
Exactly. No one replies to your DMs. No one
My
really
phone dry as fuck right now.
No one really cares what you do. You don't really matter to those people. You don't have any access in the sexual or dating marketplace. Like I said earlier, it's very hard for people to even acknowledge that you're even alive.
Yeah.
And look, what I've been doing is I've been challenging. I have been coaching their issues to a degree. Whenever I say, "Hey, obviously that sucks, but unfortunately that's how the game works," and I tell people like we need to become men of importance. We need to become men of impact. We need to become men of influence, or else we're going to have. Or else we're going to live lives where we're basically invisible for as long as we live.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be real gangster with this shit too, because you gotta recognize that, like, hey, there's a game. This is a game.
This is a game
with relationships, money,
life,
all that stuff. This whole thing is a game. So you need to recognize the rules. You need to recognize how the game works, and you need to take the steps on improving yourself to get better at the game, so you can play life on advanced mode instead of easy mode the whole time. Because when you play on easy mode and you complete the story, you don't get a lot of you don't get a lot of rewards at the end of the game.
Exactly.
So if you were to play my career on Hall of Fame,
you get double the VC.
You get double the VC if you play well and all that stuff. But if you were to play on rookie mode, bro, you ain't getting nothing.
Exactly.
It's like, bro, you're supposed to win.
Yeah, like you're supposed to ball.
Nah, but as a man, you don't get to play life on easy mode especially when you turn. Even before you turn 18.
Yeah.
You got in this shit.
You learn it early.
You learn it early, my nigga.
Yeah, but think about it though, man. Back to the men's mental health thing. I never realized that men didn't really care until I was in college. Because it's like this, man. Even back when I was in high school, didn't nobody really care what I brought to the table. No one really gave a shit who we were. Mm-hmm. Look. They don't give a shit most of the time. Because they don't give a shit about the 14-year-old freshman and the 15-year-old sophomore. He can't get a girlfriend and is genuinely lonely, probably because the star quarterback is fucking all of them. All right, and now it's up to us to tell him like what he has to do. Like we're like, of course the star quarterback's fucking them all. Like he's a
like,
shit. Exactly. Like he's the shit. We ain't shit.
Yeah, but
think about it, man. Think about it, man. We were chicks, man. Who we choose?
That nigga, you know
exactly, bro. Like if you were a chick, would you choose?
Pause. By the way, pause.
Yeah, think about, man. If you was a chick, would you choose you? Because I fucking would.
No. You gotta think about it, bro. Look in the mirror right now as a man. All right, I want you to go in the mirror right now and ask yourself, do you look like a man a woman won't want to have sex with? Okay?
Exactly.
And if not, you got work.
When you realize that you're the problem, though, you already completed step one. Because think about what's the first step in a 12-step program.
Realizing that
admit that you have a problem.
Admitting you have a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and once you admit that you have a problem, you are taking the necessary steps to get to the point where you want to be.
Yeah, for sure. And just more importantly, man, like you gotta be a man that's worth being respected, being loved, being just all these things, man. Because you can't ask the question, be like, oh, why does she don't like me and all this stuff, and then like you're not like out here wearing the clothes, having the good face, having clean face, nice hairstyle, all that stuff. Right now, I mean, look at you right now, man, with the chain and all that shit. There was a time where you had to rock them rainbow Roshis and all that bullshit, man. Mm-hmm. And them cheap ass khakis and all that. But now you got some way better khakis, man. You got some shoes, man. Well, you're not wearing no shoes.
I'm not wearing no shoes yet.
But the thing is, you got hella shoes now.
Yeah,
there was a time where you didn't have that, man.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, but I do it for my benefit. It's not really for the woman's benefit because it's like.
Well, that's even better.
Well, think about it though, because think about like, what if I brought them here and I showed them my entire shoe collection? They're gonna be like, "That's nice, I guess," because it doesn't really benefit them. It's like us. It's like it's like us though. Like whenever they show us like their money or they talk about their career, like it won't really benefit us.
I finna spend on me. Like what?
Exactly. And
I mean, at least that's what I'm coming into the relationship thinking, that you're not finna take care of me. Because I mean, if that was the case, then this should be tick tock.
Exactly. We're on borrowed time if we expect you to take care of us.
Yeah. Now I get that if you want to like give me like a little something, like a little gift every now and then.
Yeah, like I get that. Yeah.
Like I get that. If that's the way that you show appreciation to me and all the hard work that I do, by all means, spoil my ass. The fuck?
Yeah.
I do a lot of shit. But don't be thinking that like
Like your
Yeah,
love, like a love language.
Like a love language type shit. Because I mean, my love language is like touch.
Yeah, mine's physical touch, but there's also
thoughtful gestures,
affirmative words. I think that's what it is.
Affirmation or something like that.
Gift giving, affirmation of words,
time together, and all that stuff. But mine's touch, man.
Mine's physical touch.
I like to get up close, man. I ain't gonna lie
mine's physical touch.
I need that
100%. Mine's definitely physical touch.
But let's get into the next topic, man. This is the last topic. We're gonna make this a little short because this is a long. I think this is the longest podcast.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right, cool. So, did we already get them all?
Yeah, we talked about fatherhood. We talked about the realities of no. I want to get to realities of sexism a little bit.
We kind of just hit the.
I want to know though, Ben, since you asked me what was some that benefit women, what are some that benefit men really?
So with sexism, things that benefit men when it comes to sexism, I would say I don't know.
Besides that, we're seen as studs.
Besides a high body count being respected in a sense.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, we can walk in the public with our shirts off.
Yeah.
I don't
That's about it.
But I mean, besides those two, I mean,
yeah, it's kind of hard to figure it out.
I mean, if you really want to get into it, I want to talk about how sexism really benefits women when it comes to female sports.
Well, yeah, we won't have a WNBA, we won't have a female MLS, we won't have these female professional leagues if there was just one standard, which is the standard that the men go by. But lucky for us though, because of sexism, we create another standard that would benefit the ladies. Because men, we can't play in the WNBA, but if a lady's good enough, I'm sure that she could play in the NBA.
Oh yeah, and the military too.
Exactly. They created another standard for the military, the police department, firefighters. If I'm not mistaken, in England, you can fail the test and still become a police officer.
What?
As a lady?
For real?
Yes, for real.
But you have to pass it as a man.
Exactly. And any job that hires
crazy, man.
And look, in any job that hires a man, a woman will get that job before a man does because of affirmative action.